welcome to Studio 501c3. I'm your host, Kim Jones, Executive Director of the Nonprofit Village. Our show features nonprofit organizations designated as 501c3 by the IRS because they provide a public benefit. And in many cases, your donations to them are tax deductible. Our show is a collaboration between Nonprofit Village and Montgomery Community Media. We're proud partners in featuring some of the county's best nonprofit programs and services. And today we're featuring Women Who Care Ministries, a nonprofit fellowship that creates opportunities for those in need by women of all backgrounds. And with me is Judith Clark, the founder and executive director of Women Who Care Ministries. Judith, welcome. It's good to see you.
Hi, Kim. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Glad to have you. We've got a story to tell here today, so let's get to it. So Women Who Care Ministries started as a fellowship. It was many of your friends, those in the community that you worked with, all of the different career aspects, and you started moving it into more formal activities and partnerships, like with the school system. Tell us how you got from point A to point B.
Thank you. And yes, we did. We started as a women's fellowship in my very own home in 2001. And it was a time where women were really hurting, and we were able to get them all together collectively, women from all backgrounds, all races. And they would, in this forum, they would feel free to share absolutely everything from A to Z without fear of being judged, and knowing that it was a sacred place, that what was spoken there would stay there, and that they would be able to get the help that they need. So from this incredible inreach, our outreach was formed. And so although we were always feeding the homeless, and although we were always going into the jails and carrying life skill workshops and reentry programs into there, we took a radical turn in our outreach and began feeding programs. So our very first program was the Helping Others Eat program, which consists of building a client base and having people come over for a certain amount of food items based on what their need was.
Okay, so when you were first coming together as this fellowship, how did you even decide? There's so much need sometimes. So how did you even narrow to what you were going to pursue, what you could collectively work on and try to make impact? Because you could have been all over the place trying to do many different. You narrowed with two things and then grew from there. So how did you get to that?
So the inception of the Women's Fellowship was a situation where I was divinely led. I found myself at a point in my life where it was a really, really dark place. And I was able to cry out to God and say, please help me. And the Spirit of God let me know that He was going to help me. He was going to put my feet back on solid ground. And I said, when you do that, I promise that this new life that you're going to give me, it will be used to help empower other people. And so the work that we began doing through the Women's Fellowship was because I felt compelled to help all other people overcome in all areas of their life. So that was how the inception of the Women's Fellowship and the healing that took place there, that's how that began.
Okay, all right. So let me move on to something that you're become well known for in recent times, and that is the meals that you provide to the low-income children and families. There's a growing number of children and families that are food insecure, and you have established a number of distribution sites. Where are the sites? How do you do that? Who are you partnering with in order to pull? That's a heavy lift to pull off, and you're doing it well.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we're proud to be able to fight child hunger by providing weekend meals to low-income kids that would otherwise be going hungry over the weekend. It first started out with these children being children who were getting free and reduced meals in the school. And so from that, we developed a group of what we call the new needy, kids whose parents maybe made $5 a month too much to qualify for the free meals, but yet we're still experiencing weekend hunger and we're still experiencing food instability over the weekends. So from the beginning, we were partnered with Montgomery County Public Schools, and we began rallying to the teachers and the guidance counselors to form the connections so that we would know exactly who the neediest kids were, and so that we could begin delivering the weekend food sacks to the school.
Wow. Okay. So that is an incredible way that you kind of move that forward. So let me move to something else, because we're going to go to break pretty soon. There's a song that says, "We're not broken, just bent." So a lot of people are just bent in their lives. They're not broken. And the program is moving into broader services for those that are houseless, homeless, incarcerated. They're not broken from life, they're just bent. Very quickly, in the minute before we have to go to break, what are some of the community activities you're coordinating around other areas?
Yes, we work with women who are victims and survivors of domestic violence through our Restore to Joy program. We also, even still during COVID period, we're able to reach out to people who are newly re-entering society, help them get acclimated, helping them to know that they do deserve and that we will help them provide a second chance in life. And we give empowerment life skill workshops at the various homeless shelters, in addition to bringing them a meal, in addition to making sure that they have the clothing and the connections and everything that they need to be complete, but to also be successful in this new chapter of their lives.
Oh, wow. Okay, so anything else on the horizon that you want to be working towards?
Yes, we want to continue to expand the weekend food program. We started years ago with maybe feeding 25 kids. As we speak, we're feeding 6,300 kids, and the numbers are growing as we speak. We want to develop more of a domestic violence program, and that we're now setting up a 24-hour hotline for people to feel free to call in when they are in crises, and they don't have to wait for the traditional 9-to-5 time period in order to get the help that they need.
Okay, all right, 6,300, there's an incredible need in our community. So we're going to take a short break, and after the break, when we come back, we'll find out more about Women Who Care Ministries. Stay with us. You're watching Studio 501c3 on Montgomery Community Media.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Brushy, brush, 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 brush. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. You have to have your toothbrush so that they can brushy, brush your teeth. Look out, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Packers, Vikings,
Red State, Blue State.
We come from different places.
Uptown.
But when we live united, we create real lasting change in the education, income, and health of our country.
United.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Welcome back to Studio 501c3. I'm Kim Jones, and joining me today is Judith Clark, founder and executive director of Women Who Care Ministries. So there's a quote, Judith, I think I've either read it in some of your materials, or when I'm with you in community meetings, I've heard you say, my former pain is going to bring gain. And I want you to tell us what that means to you.
Thank you. So many people ask me about that quote. So many people let me know the empowerment that they feel because of that quote. And as I mentioned earlier, I'd gotten to a place where my pain was great, where I was in a really, really dark space. But as I was able to make this 180-degree miraculous turnaround in my life, due to the grace of God, I began being determined to help other people overcome. And I said, well, this pain, this great pain that I feel will not be for naught. I'm going to use this pain I'm going to use what was former pain. I'm going to use my life and let my life be a life of service so that the pain that I went through won't be for nothing, but that it will be used to bring gain to other people, letting people know what it was like, what happened in my life, and what my life is today as a result of the transformation that I personally went through.
And I know people respond to that with you. As I said, I've been in community meetings with you and have known you for a while. We never get a chance to really connect, one-on-one often, but I think that it resonates. What your message resonates with other people. And I think they do take inspiration from that. So I hope that's a rewarding feeling for you.
It is. It is.
Good. So you've had a number of different career paths that you sometimes have worked simultaneously. You're a business owner, you're a nonprofit leader and founder. You're doing social outreach. You do a number of volunteer things. So you're all these different things, and you're all these different people: child, sister, mentor, friend. Do you want to be? Let's take. Would you rather be an empowerment coach, or would you rather be a public speaker?
Oh, great question. So I'm grateful for right where I am right now, where my primary focus is feeding the children and providing hunger. But on the side, I am an author. I just published a book, and I'm on my way writing my second book. I am a empowerment speaker as well, and a transformational thought leader. Mm-hmm. And I also am a mentor, and I'm also a coach. So the difference between when I'm doing coaching and the difference between if I'm giving a speech is that a speech is a call to action in a way, because it's enticing the audience to look at where they are and decide whether or not they want to make the changes. And then if someone wants me to coach them or mentor them, that's where that level of accountability comes in a higher level. And I'm able to put them on task as far as the areas that they need to take in their life to become the type of person that they want to become. So although I'm doing what I'm doing primarily with the Kids Food Program, I get a chance to have it all play out. I get to be an empowerment speaker, through the domestic violence programs, and also speaking to the community, letting them know the criticality of child hunger and the criticality of everybody playing a part through the mentoring and the coaching. So it all intertwines very well for me.
So now my last question for you is, somebody who goes to your website, watches this show, wants to volunteer, what kind of things can you do to put them to use? We've got about 30 seconds left.
Great. Well, if they wanted to volunteer, they could contact us through 301-828-6850, where either there is a link on our website. If they wanted to make a donation to help us fight child hunger or to work with any of the other programs, they could make a Cash App donation to $give2 WWCM, or our website, womenwhocareministries.org.
Okay, very good. All right, so you've got a lot of ways for people to get involved. A lot of people are working in the community to help others, and we appreciate everything that everybody's doing. So that's all the time we have today. I'm glad we were able to share your story, Judith. I want to thank you for being here with us. To find out more about Women Who Care Ministries, visit their website again at womenwhocareministries.org. And we want you to join us next time on Studio 501c3, which is your window on nonprofits in Montgomery County. I'm Kim Jones, and thank you for being with us. See you next time. This episode of Studio 501c3 was sponsored by MBA Growth Partners.